Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right. A dream walk. The king and the paladin walk still in the abyss. It is dark, cold, but honest, raw, empty of illusion. The abyss does not comfort. It strips, it does not lie, it reveals. And yet, like Dante's Descent, the abyss has many layers. One such layer is known as the void. When a person dreams within the abyss, they may fall into the void, a dream world that is not separate from the abyss, but deeper within. Here truth, lies, intertwine. Dream and reality bend and blur. Hope mimics memory, regret wears the mask of prophecy. Being in the void is to risk forgetting that you are dreaming. Many who fall into it never return. The king did not mean to dream, but the void called him deeper, alone. He awoke within the dream layer of the abyss, standing at the edge of the boardwalk town, a seaport wrapped in fog, familiar but unrecognizable, and the scent of brine, the sound of footsteps, the faces of those he once knew. He could not name them, but he felt them. With the king was the paladin's familiar. Familiars are magical creatures born of emotion and purpose. They are not symbolic, they're real, living tools, companions, weapons, and protectors, each one crafted by the soul or the shape of the owner's truth. The paladin, by grace and prayer, had one, and it was this familiar, noble, loyal, silently watchful, that followed the king into the void as he slept. In the void, familiars follow their masters if they're strong enough, or if the gods allow it. Bang! Then came the explosion. A magical surge, loud and sudden, ripped through the dream town. Familiars shattered into creatures of pure emotion, hope, raw, sorrow, love, jealousy, grief, mindfulness. The people cried out helpless, but the king had seen this before. He began to help restore them as he did once before. He repaired the paladin's familiars first. Though not perfectly restored, it was complete and functional, as it's always been. Though he felt the thankfulness, the grace, and the quiet appreciation of the paladin. A soft teether of mutual respect. And then the fog began to clear. The Amazon, a dedicated, strong, faithful warrior, her face still bore the healed scars of old wounds that had survived together as she retained the sense of beauty. In the moment, he could only reminisce. After the war, her unyielding principles defined them. She had chosen code over connection and peace. Her familiar too had shattered. She asked the king kindly to help repair her familiar as well, and he did as he has done for the paladin. However, she spoke to the king. It's not complete. I'm missing parts. The king warned her, you don't need them. The Amazon looked at the king with soft eyes and said, I will be fine. And so the king found the missing parts of the Amazon's familiar. He found rage in the back of the bar with a broken glass of whiskey, resentment in the graveyard, robbing graves, and pride at an altar, unsure if it was being worshipped or being married. He returned those pieces to the Amazon. The king asked, why do you want the resentment, the rage, and the pride? He said with worry and care. The Amazon simply said coldly, because they're mine. The king refused to take part as the Amazon began to repair her familiar. Cloaked in a mystic spell, you can hear the Amazon's incantation twist with grief and war, making old wounds new again, as memories of their past rushed in and the familiar was made whole once more. However, this time in the void, it was darker and far more powerful than it had been. The king said a loud prayer to the gods of the Amazon. Behold your daughter. The familiar appeared, missing the parts. The missing parts overtook the others, twisting it into something far darker that only a king could see. To everyone else, the familiar was whole, but to the king, what was once faith was now obsession. What was once dedication was now control, and finally, what was now strength was now wrath. The king now remembered why their fates parted. He had chosen peace over conviction, and from the winds the goddess mother spoke, but that's who she is. Then the king turned away, and he awoke, back in the abyss, back into the raw silence of what is free. Thank you.